Frankfurt Book Fair 2012. We are here at the hotspot Professional and Scientific Information, and with me is Robin Dunford. He is with Inera. What kind of services does Inera provide?
So we provide a suite of software products for publishers and other content providers, and essentially what the software aims to do is to allow authors to still write and create material without having to worry too much about, is this a level 1 heading, is this a level 2 heading, are my references in the right style? So they can get on with what they do best, to create content, but it also then means that publishers or other content providers can take that content and they can get structure into it so that a computer can understand this is a title, this is a level 1 heading, this is a level 2 heading, this is a reference, and publishers can also check that authors have got the right references. Are the references correct? Are they cited in the content? So it's really a way of getting structure into unstructured content easily, largely automatically, and allowing then that content to be taken into a web environment or into a print environment and styled as the author intended, and as the publisher wants. And it can be repurposed in other environments, so print or a web presentation of the content.
So that would mean the author could just write kind of a Word document, for example, and how can the software, how can the system distinguish between different styles, between subtitles and whatever? How does it work? I mean,
there is a certain element at the moment of manual intervention by the publisher or the content provider who knows the content, and they have a simple palette of styles, and they can look at the document and say, okay, this is the title, this is the subtitle, these are the authors. Some of this is done automatically, particularly around references, because bibliographic references have certain common elements that a computer can identify. And we're working on the software now to do a lot more of the styling automatically. So the semantics of how a document is structured, the computer can interpret that and look at certain common things about headings, what the headings look like and so on, and it can automatically identify a lot of elements in the document without a human eye having to spend a lot of time identifying what is what in a document.
So that makes the job of authors and both authors and publishing houses much easier.
That's the intention.
I think that there must be a lot of demand for that in the market. So who are your main clients at the moment?
So we have something over 100 journal publishers using the software. Some of the big names that people will have heard of: Science, Nature Publishing Group, Journal of the American Medical Association, New England Journal of Medicine. So that was the original customer base, I guess. And those
the non-fiction sector.
Absolutely, that's right. And mostly originally STM, Science, Technology, Medicine. In more recent years, we've seen humanities publishers coming in, some of the big American university presses. We've also seen Thema, German book publisher. They use the software. And we're also then expanding now into standards organizations and other organizations that have structured content, such as the World Health Organization and the International Standards Organization, ISO, who use the content, because they have highly structured content. They're not journal articles, but they are highly structured, and they're also amenable to a computer understanding the structure, so they can look for ISO standard numbers, for example, in the text, and automatically identify those and tag those so that an editor later on can come along and say, is this the right standard that the author was really referring to, without somebody having to spend a long time manually putting that structure into the document first.
You mentioned those large institutions. Are they present typically at the book fair, or who are your clients here at the book fair?
Well, I think quite a number of our existing clients are here. Some of the big journal publishers that also have book publishing programs are here. International Standards, they have people here. WHO have people here. But there are also, I think, a lot of particularly smaller book publishers who are increasingly wanting to take their books into an ebook environment. And that can be quite daunting, I think, if you're used to the print world. Perhaps journal publishers may be led slightly ahead of book publishers in getting their content online, and it's a newer phenomenon now for book publishers. So the software, the way it works is very intuitive. It means they don't have to understand XML, for example, which the markup language that enables them to get online. They can stay in Microsoft Word, which they know, and it means, and their authors can carry on writing in Microsoft Word, which they're familiar with. So I think that's a growing group for us, smaller book publishers that are now moving into online.
So is that your main objective for this book fair, to target those smaller publishers and to get them as clients?
I think so. I mean, that's certainly one area we're seeing as a big potential here for that. There are a lot of book publishers here, obviously, that we have not encountered before, and who, because they don't perhaps have a journal program, they haven't come across the software, they're relatively new to XML and to ebook publishing, and it's an interesting time for us.
Interesting time is a good keyword. I mean, on the one hand, you're talking about a huge potential. On the other hand, we are in a time of economic and financial turmoil in many European countries. Luckily, not in Germany yet, I'd say. So, how do you see the atmosphere here at Book Fair? Is everybody still going strong, optimistic, going ahead, or how do you see it?
I think so. I think it's really positive, and I think the kind of software that we are providing and that there are other providers here are enabling people to increase efficiency, to reduce the amount of perhaps manual intervention and let their staff concentrate on what they do best, which is understanding content, the kind of things that computers can't do. And then they can use their people to put those skills to effect. So I think, it's very positive.
So I think that is a good strategy even in difficult economic times.
Yeah.
Robin, thank you very much. Keep my fingers crossed for you that this is going to be a good book fair for you and, of course, a good business year for your company.
Great.
Thank you very much. It was a pleasure. Thank you.